Well, good morning, Cajun Carnivore. How y'all doing today? This is day 7 for me of my carnivore journey. And I'm on my way to work, on my way to the JOB, man. I just wanted to get the video started, man. You know how we do, man. I'm going to detail some options. I'm going to detail what I have today on this carnivore journey. Quick recap of what happened last night. I usually don't film at home. I usually don't. I like to film when I'm out and about, but all I had last night was 2 steaks. I had the wife, she made some pork steaks last night. I'm not really wanting to do pork too much because pork is not really the best of meats to eat overall, but I don't eat it that often. She made it. She did hers a certain way, put the fixings on it. I told her, I said, look, make mine, just grill them pretty plain, don't put nothing on it. I got the rest. So when they were ready, I went ahead and added the butter. And hey man, it filled me up, man, and I'm feeling good. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to get a breakfast this morning. I may get it, I may not. Once I get to work, I got some stuff I got to do before I get on the road. So it depends. If breakfast is being served, I'll get it. If I get breakfast, I'm looking at bacon, a sausage patty, and eggs with some butter. Real simple. But I just came to y'all this morning to just kind of get everything going, get the video started, and let y'all know that day 7, man, how am I feeling? I'm feeling great. I have not gotten on the scale yet. And like I said, I'm not getting on the scale because I'm still fighting a mental block. I'm still fighting a mental block. My mentality is just, with that scale, my mentality is just, I can't, right now, early in this journey, I don't want to get discouraged. And I know that might sound crazy, like, man, why you get on the scale, you're gonna lose weight anyway. If you knew how I was yo-yoing up and down on that scale all those years, you'd understand. And I think many people do understand. You have wins, you have losses, you have wins, you have losses. And like I said, I did carnivore briefly last year. I can say briefly. I did it for a certain amount of time last year, and I had success with it. I dropped 60 last year, but I stalled, man. I went on a cruise last year in the summertime, and I never rebounded, and I just kind of stayed where I was. I didn't really gain too much back, but I gained enough back that I know I'm not where I was when I was doing my best on carnivore. So I stayed in a certain zone, and the zone that I was in, I said, you know what? I'm gonna, I have a doctor's visit. I have an appointment 2 weeks from Friday. I got to renew my physical, so they're gonna do all of my stuff there, and I'll get an official weight there. And by the time I go there, that weight is gonna be a direct result of what will have been at that point 3 weeks on carnivore. So that's how I'm doing it. Now, once I get that done, I will then do regular weigh-ins. Just to be transparent, because I believe in full transparency for the video and for the viewers and for the audience. At my heaviest was 374. Well, actually, my heaviest was over 4. And I'm talking about years of, fighting. I was like 415, 420 at my heaviest. I'm talking years ago. Now, carnivore, now, put it to you like this. For my heaviest of 415, 420, I was able to mitigate myself down to about 370, 380. And I stayed between 375, 380, 370, 365. I stayed in that zone. So I did some working out, but I had no knowledge of nutrition. I did not understand nutrition. I just thought you could out-exercise a bad diet. And I would literally go walk for like an hour and a half on the track, and after I walk an hour and a half or whatever on the track, I would literally go straight to Subway and go get a foot long. And I'm thinking, listening to that guy, I don't want to say his name, but you remember the guy, the spokesperson for Subway that got in a little trouble. He's doing some time right now. Yeah, him, dude with the glasses. They were advertising about how Subway was healthy, and we were taking it for granted, just listening to the ads. But in fact, we didn't know about the carbs. We knew, but we didn't, we were listening to the commercial. We didn't know that the seed oils cause inflammation. We didn't know the science of everything. So the stuff they were advertising, and I feel like Subway did false advertising because, this guy lost a bunch of weight doing this, but, I feel like he was probably doing OMAD or something like that. Like, there's no way you can eat Subway every day and drop that kind of weight, not eating footlongs or whatever. And then you think about what they add, the chips and the cookies and all of that. Like, man, and then you get your drink, unless you're getting the water. If you're getting the soda, you're drinking extra calories. You're drinking liquid calories. So I wasn't really versed on that, back then. I mean, we are talking about like 2005, 2006 or whatever. So I was able to, outwalk myself to a point where I went from 420 down to about 380. I dropped 40. And for the better part of a decade, I stayed in between 380 to my lowest being 360. Sometimes I'd hit 355, but I could never break 350. Never. And it used to discourage me. So I went on, and like I said, about a year and a half ago, or the end of 2024, I was on YouTube and I started seeing Carnivore. I said, what this is? So I tried everything else. Got on Carnivore, and when I got on Carnivore, I started having success. And like I said, I dropped 60. I dropped 6. Well, the first breakthrough for me was I broke 350. And I was so happy when I broke 350. Because it's like, man, I know if I get on the other side of 350 going down 300, I'm coming for you. So I did that. And then after that, we got down, and next thing I know, I got to 340, I got to 330, I got to 320. Well, long story short, last year, my lowest, I broke 300, I got down to 295. 295, I got down to 295. I had not been under 300 since 1998 when I got married. 300, when I got married, I was like 270, 275, 278, maybe 280 when I got married. And I stopped getting on the scale. I stopped weighing myself, and a married life kicked in. And before you know it, me and my wife were having fun and eating it up, and we were young and just not giving a damn about what we put in our body. So the weight began to pile on, and over the course of that time, I mean, put on over 100 pounds, 130, 140 pounds. So to get down to 295, man, for me, it was a flex, man. And it's like, look, I know this ain't the end result. I can't be here either, but you know what? I'd rather be 295 than where I was at 380, 360, not being able to break 350. But I got some friends in Atlanta. We go travel and see them so many times a year. So I was catching a flight to Atlanta for the weekend. And when I go visit my friends, they're going to roll out the red carpet. And I told my boy, and if you're watching this video, you know what I'm talking about. I told you. But I told him, I said, bro, I'm doing my thing. I can't get off this diet, bro. I can't get off this diet now. He said, man, have some fun. Have some fun. And I got off. And when I got back home, back over 3. And then consequently, a month later, we had our cruise. I was like 304, which wasn't too bad. It's okay, I could get this off in about a week. No problem. So the next thing is we had a cruise. Cruise did it, y'all. Cruise did it. Came back from the cruise. I was like 304, 305 before we went to the cruise. Weighed myself the morning that we left. I was 305. And came back 317. Yeah, man, my feelings was hurt. So at that stage, I'm like, okay, we got to get back. Now, this is back in July. But football season. You know how we do for football season. So, long story short, I did walk and exercise. I kind of went back to my old ways at the end of the year where I was trying to out-exercise. And I wasn't really doing a bad diet because I knew a lot more now than I knew back then. I was intermittent fasting, which I wasn't doing before. I was eating round the clock, eating pastries and cakes and sweets and all of that round the clock. So I was intermittent fasting this time around. And also I was doing more keto options. I would only load up on carbs on the weekends. Monday through Friday at work, I'm intermittent fasting, and I'm doing more keto. I didn't really go back in the carnivore. I was doing keto. So I'm eating a lot of salads and tuna salad, chicken salad, stuff like that. Kind of light, just trying to go light on the carbs, but implementing a lot of fats. And I think that's what helped me maintain. And I was yo-yoing. I was going up and down. I was yo-yoing. So at this point, coming into the new year, I said, you know what, man, I got to go back to what worked, and I know what works. That's carnivore. That's carnivore. So, as I told y'all, I tell y'all every video, man, I identified it and I knew my why. So it's like, look, it's time to go to work. And January 1st, last week, January 1st, on the first day, we went carnivore, and thus far, I haven't looked back since. Now, do I think I'm going to consume some carbs? Like you're going to consume carbs anyway, but it's going to be a low amount of carbs on carnivore because you just can't help it. Some things that you may get if you're out and about, we don't know everything that's put into what we eat, so you're going to consume some carbs. But the amount of carbs you're going to consume, if you stick to the structure of the plan, are going to be so minimal that you won't feel it. You will not feel it. Like, you will still be good, especially if you're working out. The goal is to be strict carnivore and taking absolutely zero carbs. But let's just be real. If you're out and about, there's going to be some carbs you're going to get here and there. As long as you're not getting that processed stuff, you're not eating bread, rice, pasta, sweets, stuff like that, drinking sodas, stuff with sugar in it. If you're knowingly not doing that, you're good. But listen, I know I got events coming up this year. We got weddings, I got another vacation, and I'm getting my mind ready because I got 2 cruises this year. When I go on this next cruise, you better doggone well believe you ain't gonna get me this time, because I did do carnivore a little bit while I was on the boat, but the willpower wasn't there. But that's where, coming in strong in 2026 and really establishing myself from the jump, the willpower is there, and the discipline, as I talked about, is also there. So this time on the cruise, oh yeah, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you this time. I ain't coming back, up 12 pounds. But anyway, I'm about to get to work. I'm about to get started. But hey, this is Carnivore Day 7. We are going to detail the journey. Hey, man, listen. I appreciate everybody that's locking in. I appreciate all the comments and feedback, man. You guys rock. And like I said, man, if you're carnivore, if you know somebody that's maybe doing carnivore, man, please share the channel. Let them know. Let's get this message out, man. And like I always say, man, do what you got to do for yourself and don't worry about anybody else. No doubt. All right, let's get to the day, man. Carnivore Day 7. Let's get it popping. What's the best part about carnivore? Breakfast options. It's Carnivore Day 7 for me, and check out what I got. Tell me that don't look good. Look what we got here. We got some scrambled eggs, a couple of small sausage links, some bacon. Got my butter. I ain't got much time, so I'm about to tear this up. Y'all have a good one. Carnivore Day 7. Let's get it. Well, good afternoon. We're on our way home. Work day is done. Cajun Carnivore, and I tell you what, every day that you settle into this carnivore lifestyle, from the first day, it gets so much easier. So much easier. I had a great breakfast today. I actually didn't have time to eat nothing else. So that breakfast that I showed y'all, man, it just really hit the spot. I got some options at the house. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy, when I get home. I'm looking at probably some ground turkey, some scrambled eggs. But day 7 is just completed. So we're about to knock a week down, the first week of many this year on carnivore. If my camera shakes a little bit, pardon me. I'm in Louisiana, and anybody that's been to Louisiana or from Louisiana knows we don't have the best roads. But I'm just happy about the consistency that I'm establishing. And to anybody that's watching, I'm trying to tell you, be consistent. And if you happen to have a day where you fall off, it's okay. I had a moment where, last year, a lot of times I'd fall off and I'd beat myself up. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. try to stay consistent. But if you happen to fall off the train, off the wagon, it's okay. Tomorrow's a new day. You get back up, you know what you got to do, you come back stronger, you start over again. As long as you got more good days than bad, and as long as when you do fall off, it doesn't become a habit. If you have a meal or a day that you just kind of, you get away from the carnivore lifestyle, look, there's always tomorrow. But just don't make it a habit and say, okay, and then when tomorrow gets here, you're like, well, you know what? I've been doing this for a while. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue doing this. No. Don't do that. That's how you go backwards. And I did that. So that's the goal. That's where we are right now. Like I said, it was a great day. I have no complaints. Once again, man, I thank each and every one of you that's been watching the channel. I mean, this is a brand new channel. I've only been in existence for, as of tomorrow, a week. And we're starting to get subscribers, man, and the comments and everything. So shouts out to everybody. And all I ask is that you share the channel, man. I'm just trying to, document and vlog this story and this journey. And I just want as many people to chime in. Share it to carnivores, man. If you know your carnivore communities on social media, share it. I want to interact with you carnivores. I want to get just get the ideas of other carnivores and trade ideas. You guys have been giving me some really, really good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead on. I'm on the way home. So let me knock this down, get this drive home. And man, hump day is over 2 days ago. The week isn't in sight. So that's how we doing it. Cajun Carnivore signing out for today. We'll be back tomorrow for day 8. Shouts out to everybody. Peace.